Welcome to season number 2 of the Go For 2 podcast, episode number 13. I am your host, Jackson Walsh. I got my friend, my buddy, my pal. He's got his cam on today. He's all moved into the brand new place. Lucas Averett. Lucas, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic. I wouldn't say all moved in, considering I do have just a completely blank wall behind me.
It looks good, though. It looks all clean.
We're
crisp.
Kind of moved in. 90%.
Yeah.
But I have internet now, so the cams are back. So we got the pod going.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, like every time we've been recording the podcast before, Lucas literally he lived in the middle of nowhere. Okay, he told you guys we had a whole, I think it was like episode 8 or so. He went through an entire little ordeal about he's like, if you just point on the map, that's probably me, middle of nowhere, just random in Tennessee. Anyway, so now he has internet. He's been playing off a hotspot for forever and recording off a hotspot. So we were kind of iffy, but now we should have a nice, clear, crisp connection. Therefore, cams are back. And
Cam should never be foggy again.
We get to see Lucas's beautiful face every single week, and that just makes me happy. So, I mean, that's all I really care about.
Every single week we get comments, Mr. Jackson.
Every single week we do get comments. Let me open them up right here. We got 4 comments here for you guys. We're going to start it out with El Chefe, a.k.a. Aiden, a.k.a. the next Gordon Ramsay. That man. All right. Shout out to Aiden. He says, "You're right, Jackson, about my Houston Texans. I was just getting heated because I don't think that we're going to do very good, and I hope we can get a miracle this year." I feel you. I feel you on that one. Yeah, Houston's kind of one of those teams, man. It's like, I just don't know. I just don't believe in Bill O'Brien. They've been knocking on the door in the playoffs for forever. I don't think trading DeAndre Hopkins is a good idea. Yeah, you kind of got some names back there, but I don't think any of them are really guys that can be a true number one to get that separation. You know, if you're going to be playing the Patriots with like a Stephon Gilmore or even New Orleans with a Marshawn Lattimore or somebody, they're just going to completely shut down whoever's that number one. I'm assuming that's going to be Brandon Cooks as their number one. I don't think it's Cobb anymore. I mean, but they kind of have a offense by committee. And you have Deshaun Watson. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but I don't think that team is going to get to an AFC championship without a new head coach and a new GM, personally.
Help. They need help.
They need a lot of help. All right, you ready for the Casey comments? Here we go.
Yeah, let's hit them.
All right. Casey says, it's like, yes, I agree. Cam will be a QB2 unless they lose, but I can say I'm not happy about it. Bill is the GOAT of coaching, so whatever he thinks, I've got to suck it up and just go with it. I mean,
I will say, if there's any coach that I'm not necessarily worried about making bad decisions, it's the GOAT coach, Bill Belichick. Like, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Like, whatever he does is the best you got. And, you know, if you win 7 games this year, that's the best you could do this year. He's going to build a better team, obviously.
Right. Yeah. So he'll build a better team, and you know, in the next, you know, say even if he doesn't make the Super Bowl this year, or even make the playoffs, within the next couple of years, he's such a good GM as well that they'll be back. Just give him a couple of years to kind of rebuild, and they'll be back. They have too good of a franchise not to. Next comment from Casey. Okay, guys, here's the difference between an okay quarterback in the NFL to a great quarterback in the NFL. 3,000 passing yards a season is, you know, okay. A great quarterback is 4,000 to 5,000 passing yards a season. Where is Cam at? 3,000 yards, a quarterback? He sucks just like Andy Dalton, LOL. First of all, Andy Dalton is now a Cowboy. Therefore, he falls under the Jackson Protection Act of 2019. If you are a Cowboy, you have an extra layer of protection, self-defense protection. I just grant you that because you're a Cowboy. That's just kind of the way it is. But, yeah, no, I feel you. I think Andy Dalton is really going to be a key component for us over the next couple of years, Lucas. And we'll get into that a little bit more when we talk about Dak's franchise tag deal later on. But I don't know, man. Cam's just kind of – I just don't think he fits the system of the Patriots. It just seems kind of
that was one of the big things last week when we talked about it.
Mm-hmm. Final comment from Casey. Okay, boys, number 1 draft pick in 2025 or 2026 is Quinn Ewes. I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly. EWES. from maybe USC, Texas, or OU. Anyways, this is oh my gosh, here we go. All right. Anyway, this is a Carroll Dragon quarterback, 6'3", 200 pounds. It's a sophomore, over 4,000 yards passing, 43 touchdowns, and rushed for 9 more, including a 200-yard rushing game. Only 3 interceptions last season. Number 1 college recruit in the state of Texas. All right, cool. So this guy will be the next Tom Brady in the future if he's healthy. So I'm telling you, because this is the future of the NFL, this dude is a beast. What do you think? Yes, it's high school, Lucas. He keeps me spelling your name. Puts Lucas with a K instead of Lucas with a C. That's a problem. That's okay. But we'll get over it. Lucas, I get the game is way faster than the pros, but numbers like that is absolutely crazy. What do you think, Lucas? Should the Titans pick up this guy, and would you be okay with it? He said, I think they should pick him up if you want the Titans to win a Super Bowl.
I want to say that the first thing I thought of was Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Like, tons of talent and stuff, but like when he gets to the NFL, you just don't know if it's going to translate, you know?
Yeah.
Let me look up. I'm looking up Marcus Mariota's high school stats.
Oh, okay. Those are some crazy high school stats. And you know, speaking of high school football, the Carroll Dragons, I mean, they're always among the top in the conversation, at least for the state of Texas. So they've produced a couple of good quarterbacks. Chase Daniel came from there, right? So backup quarterback for the Bears now, is backup quarterback for the Saints for a long time. Mizzou guy, back in the day. But yeah, man, I mean, saying that he is the next Tom Brady is a bold statement indeed.
That is pretty crazy. I personally don't think there will ever be another Tom Brady.
I don't think so either.
I mean, there's just like there's not going to be another Kobe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like people compare Kobe and MJ, but like Kobe was his own thing because he brought that mentality and stuff with it.
Right.
And I think Brady brought that to practice also, and it was a different thing. So it looks like Marcus threw 3,000 yards, completed 65% of his passes, 32 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, with 500 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns in his senior year of high school.
Okay.
So the other guy's numbers are actually a little better.
They actually are a little better. We've had some crazy quarterback talent come out of the state of Texas and just kind of the surrounding areas in general.
My boy Marcus was in Hawaii, but this guy sounds like a man. It's just since it is in high school, it's
way too early.
It's just, but like I definitely think you could see him going and making an impact in college. Good or bad, he's going to be a starter eventually somewhere if he sticks with it, you know.
I think so too. You know, like you said, number 1 recruit coming out of the state of Texas. He's going to get picked up by someone. I hope Texas picks him up. We need an actual quarterback. That'd be nice. Sam Ehlinger, decent, but I'd like, somebody a little bit better. All right, Mr. Lucas. So that's it for our comments. That's all of them. Thank you guys, Casey, Aiden, and everyone else. Guys, remember, if you please be sure on YouTube, comment on the video, leave us a comment, and we'll read it at the beginning of the show. We love engaging with you guys.
Yes.
My new cup, by the way. It's kind of like Jennifer appreciate this little gradient.
Okay, anyway. Jackson. All right. Mm-hmm. Stop talking about your cup and start talking about Dak Prescott not getting a contract, Jackson. What happened, buddy?
It bothers me. You know what bothers me, Lucas? Patrick Mahomes got the biggest contract in sports history, and we can't sign our quarterback.
That's probably why you couldn't sign your quarterback.
You think that's the reason? Really?
I think Dak seen that and he was like, I just went up in my price. Yeah.
Yeah, and guess whose fault that is? The Cowboys for not getting him done early. Here's the thing. We had this conversation last year, right? Dak's going into the final year of his contract. We were worried about getting Zeke signed. So we did. We signed Zeke, ultimately caved in. And Dak knows that. Dak knows what's the history with Jerry. Jerry's going to pay his guys. Paid T.O., he paid Romo, he paid Zeke. He's gonna pay Dak eventually. So the thing was, here's kind of the breakdown with Dak's franchise tag. So Dak obviously didn't sign he signed his tender. However, they didn't get a long-term deal done by the July 15th deadline. Therefore, Dak will be playing this season under franchise tag. He's going to collect $31.4 million this year with the way the math has worked out. He is actually only the third quarterback in history to play under a franchise tag. The other two, Lucas, do you know them?
Quarterbacks to play under
a franchise tag.
Just in your franchise, just with Dallas, or in the NFL?
No, in the NFL. This is only the third time ever.
Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
And
Casey loves him.
Casey loves him.
Yeah, not as much as Brady, but he loves him.
Drew Brees?
Yes. So, so Kirk Cousins.
Really?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins played under it twice with Washington. I believe it was in 2016 and 17. Played under the Washington tag, back-to-back years. Ultimately, left that franchise. They couldn't get a deal done. He goes out to Minnesota. Drew Brees, 2005, plays a season underneath the tag with the then San Diego Chargers. They couldn't get a deal done. He leaves to go to New Orleans. So, historically speaking, every time this has happened with a quarterback playing a year under the franchise tag, within 2 years, they're out. And there was somebody else. Typically, that means they can't, like, if you're not getting signed but to a full long-term contract by a franchise, one, they don't believe in you and want you to be there long-term, or that you're that guy. Or two, they deem you to be way too expensive and just send you on your way. I don't know what it is with here. I'm a little bit worried, Lucas. I'm very worried because here's the other thing. Dak reportedly turned down a contract. There was a contract on the table at the end, at the 11th hour. It was between $33 and $35 million a year. It's a 4-year deal with more than $100 million guaranteed. And he turned that almost fully guaranteed, and he turned it down. So if he turned down that deal, then what is he going to ask for next year? Assuming he's healthy, assuming that we do well this year, which I think we will. I think we have a lot of talent.
Right.
I think a new coach and a new slate's going to help us. I don't like this hanging over us going into the season about a long-term deal because I think it just creates distractions. But I worry about that because I think he saw Patrick Mahomes' deal and he's like, you know, Patty, he got 50. He got $50 million. He's like, I want.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I want something. So this,
yeah,
I don't know. It bugs me. I think, Lucas, should I be worried that this is the last season we're going to have Dak as a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys?
Yes.
I think so too.
You should be worried, but I don't necessarily think that means it's going to happen. I can see Dak getting franchise tagged again, but he probably wouldn't play under it if he got franchise tagged again.
I agree.
So I can see the chance of the Cowboys not franchise tagging him because they don't want to go through that drama and letting him hit the market. Let him hit the market. I wish they would have done it this year. Let Dak hit the market and see what he's going to make. And then just outbid the other teams.
Do you think because let's think about some of the teams.
I don't think anyone else is going to give Dak.
You don't think anyone else is going to give Dak 35?
Well, they offered him 32 to 34 or whatever you just said.
They offered him 33 to 35. I don't know if other teams are going to offer him 35.
I don't think teams would offer him 30.
Yeah. I think some teams that'll be interested, just kind of depending on what happens. I think Oakland, Jacksonville. I think potentially New England, depending on what happens with Stidham and what happens with Newton. I think Chicago could be interested. And those are kind of the 4 teams I'm looking at. And maybe the Raiders.
Yeah.
As teams that might.
Oakland, didn't you?
I did say Oakland, didn't I? I'm sorry. Las Vegas. Yeah, so those are kind of the 4 teams I'm looking at. Is there a
For
fifth
next
I should
year?
be for next year if he hits the market that'll attract the attention? Because Chicago's already locked in their contract with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
So let's say they want to take a big cap hit.
You got Chicago. Don't forget the Texans. They're going to need a quarterback after Deshaun Watson leaves. Hey,
For San Francisco. I was going to say San Francisco, but we already know Deshaun Watson's going there. Okay, because Jimmy G just ain't it.
We got nothing to worry about.
So Houston.
Yeah, Houston, Jacksonville.
Maybe Indy.
The Colts are gonna need someone.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't see those teams like throwing that bag at them. You know what I mean?
I don't see them throwing 35 at him. So
that's what I'm talking about. So it's like,
yeah.
Let
him hit the market, but the same.
I don't know why I don't understand like what he's done that makes him think he deserves that.
I don't know either.
To be the second highest paid quarterback.
He doesn't deserve second highest paid. He deserves to be up there, right? I think 35 is way more than what he's worth.
You think he deserves top 5?
No. I think he deserves top 10. Top 10 money.
So like Tannehill money?
Tannehill money. Oh my God! If we can get him Tannehill money, oh God! I didn't even pay. If I can get Dak at even 30, I'm a happy guy, because he has everything else we want. Intangibles. He's led the league in fourth quarter comebacks since he came into the league. He's a third.
That's just because he's losing all the time.
He's the quarterback. Listen, he's the third quarterback with the most wins since he's entered the league, right behind Brady and Russell Wilson.
On the back of Zeke.
You just keep throwing side comments in, don't you, bro? You got your camera on, you're looking at me, and you're laughing, and I hate you. Okay. Division title twice, playoff win, but nothing past that. Nothing past that. I think if he wants a long-term deal with Dallas, he's got to get to the NFC Championship this year. Like, if he wants the money he wants, if he wants 40, he's got to get to the NFC Championship game. Is that fair to say? And if he doesn't get to the NFC Championship game...
Sorry. If he wants 40, Jackson, he has to go win you games. He has to get you to the playoffs. And he does not do that. Or he has not done it yet. I'm not saying he can't, like he can't ever. But it's just like, you have to be able to run the football for him to be able to do anything. You know what I mean? He's not Russell Wilson. Like, Russell Wilson goes out there and wins games. Tom Brady wins games. He had no one last year and still went to the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I like what Dak has
done.
done.
He's like Tannehill. Like, Tannehill needs Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and Dak needs Zeke. Regardless of how many drop balls we had last year, 71, by the way. Led the league.
Must have thrown bad passes.
Drop balls, meaning catchable balls.
Right.
So how is it a bad pass if it's a catchable ball?
Well, I mean, like, if you take, for instance, the Baltimore Ravens versus Tennessee Titans playoff match this past season, Lamar made bad throws that bounced off his tight end's hands because he threw the ball too high or threw it too low or whatever. He didn't throw a good ball. Threw it up here. It goes off dude's hands. We intercepted.
Does that count as a drop ball?
Doesn't it?
I don't know. I feel like a drop ball is like, it's like obviously catchable.
So you think they only count balls that hit you square in the chest that you drop?
Well, probably not.
There's no way. They
man.
probably count everything that touches your hand.
Yeah, he's had some bad throws, but he did have several throws last year that were right on the money, and they just dropped them. Anyway, that's besides the point. Besides the point, he's a top 10 quarterback. He deserves top 10 money. If I can get him for 30, I'm happy. And the fact that he's turned down 35 scares the hell out of me. That means he's probably going to turn down anything except 40, and he's going to hit the market next year. And we better hope somebody else doesn't want to pay him that much, because, like you said, quarterback's hard to come by. Yes, we have Andy Dalton waiting in the wings, but he is withering away into dust at the moment, and there are no other good quarterbacks up on the outlook for the next couple of years. Maybe we could steal one later on in the draft, but yeah, he's going to hit the market. So those are my woes, Mr. Lucas. What's going? I heard something went on with Tennessee. They seem to know what's going on in the front office and how to get deals done. Mr. Jerry, on the other hand, is just super flexing on his yacht and
That's true.
And raise my blood pressure to an early grave.
I'm looking for something. Hold up. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. I was actually really pleased with how they did this deal with Derrick Henry. I went back and I looked at some of the details. And the way that they structured it, I thought was really, really smart. But, yeah, man. Especially with this whole thing with Dak. Just, it rubs me the wrong way, man. Like, he comes in, he does everything right that we want him to do. He's got all the intangibles, all the leadership, you know. Serves his community.
He wants too much money.
Serves his community, but he wants too much money. And that's a problem. And I think we have to figure out this, especially in the league, just as a general rule of thumb, paying quarterbacks an exorbitant amount of money when they don't deserve it. Patrick Mahomes, he deserves it. Russell Wilson, he deserves it. Aaron Rodgers deserves it. Brady, absolutely.
Do you think there should just be a set percentage that you make as a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, I think it should be capped. I think you should be able to, like, almost like the NBA, Lucas, like a max deal. Like, hey, for your position at quarterback, we can give you this percentage of the cap. And then teams can offer that. We're going to give you the max. And here's one thing. Here's one thing that Dak's not thinking about. And I know you're looking something up.
You're good.
One thing that Dak's not thinking about is what happens when you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. All the extra money that you make. All the extra sponsorship deals. What you can do after. Look what Romo did. Romo signed an extra. He signed a 6-year contract in 2013, right, with the Cowboys, an extension. And it wasn't a bunch of money. It wasn't anything outlandish or crazy. But he made a ton of money off of sponsorship and endorsement deals. Then he later goes on and starts a brand new career as CBS announcer. And the dude's the highest paid announcer across all of sports at this moment. Like, there are things that come to be an advantage with being the quarterback of America's team. They're just
yeah.
Like,
they're just like all the deals that come
all the money
outside
that
of it and
all the money you can make up on the back. And you know what would even increase more? Dak would make 10 times the amount of money as a $40 million deal a year. He'd make 10 times that if they win a Super Bowl. Just in everything that's happening in and around Dallas. It's a big market. And so it really bugs me. And I'm almost at the point, Lucas, where I'm just like, you know what? Let's just find someone else. Like, I like Dak and he's great, but we can't. There's no winning formula when we pay him that exorbitant amount of money. Like, we just lose so much other resources. Anyway, that's me and my rant.
So here's what I wanted to look up. You said Dak was number 10, and I was like, or he wasn't number 10. You said he was top 10, right?
Top 10. I think I had him at 7 or 8 on my list a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and so I went to look. So in Madden, the new Madden ratings have come out. We're going to talk about this later.
Yeah.
The new Madden ratings come out, and Dak is number 9 for quarterback. How do you feel about that? Do you want me to tell you who's above him?
Sure. I'm going to guess. And I had him below, but Lamar Jackson is definitely going to be above him. Mahomes, Rodgers, Wilson, Breeze, Brady. Okay, now we're getting it. Deshaun Watson. One more is going to be above him. Who is that quarterback?
Next to Tom Brady and Drew Brees.
Right next to Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Okay.
Think of third division.
Really? Okay. Matt Ryan.
Yes. Okay. And then it's Dak Prescott number 9 and Carson Wentz number 10.
Take that, Zach.
I just want to say some quarterbacks that I think are pretty close to Dak in terms of like on the field stuff.
Yeah.
I think Baker Mayfield has, like, in terms of skill on the field, I know that like Dak brings some extra stuff to it.
Sure.
But I think Baker can be just as good as Dak Prescott. Phillip Rivers.
Comparable. Dak's got a little more legs, but yeah.
I mean, Derek Carr had a good year stat-wise. His team, he just had a bad team.
Right.
And there's rumors that his coach doesn't like him. You know what I mean?
That's probably why I brought in Mariota.
They did. I don't like Jared Goff. What about Big Ben? You got Big Ben behind Dak Prescott?
Oh yeah, Big Ben's just getting up there in terms of age. He's always been kind of a bigger guy, bigger quarterback. I worry about his durability.
Kirk Cousins?
He's got a cannon for an arm. Big Ben's going to go down as a better quarterback than Dak overall, but right now he's not better. Dak's better than Kirk.
Really?
Dak's better than Kirk for sure. Dak provides that extra layer with his legs on the read option, which mostly is in terms of credit to Zeke. But Kirk Cousins has Dalvin Cook, and Kirk Cousins he had Diggs. He's got Adam Thielen. He's got Kyle Rudolph.
What about Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford is one of those. He's kind of
underrated, extremely underrated quarterback. Terrible. Yeah,
that's with a terrible organization. Team. I take Matt Stafford right now for Dak. I take
you can do it.
I take Matt Stafford for give me 2 years of Matt Stafford, and I'll find another quarterback in the draft. I'll get Matt Stafford on a $25 million a year deal. I'll go and I'll bring in Everson Griffin to pack up the backside, and I'll go trade for Jamal Adams.
I guess he is. He's on the edge. I think he's like, I don't know. I'll throw Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford ahead of Dak. But he's right there. He's right there on the edge.
He's on the cusp.
Yeah, he's definitely top 15. Okay. Anyways, I went too far with that. I'm sorry, but it was just.
No, you're good.
You said top 10, and I was like, hold up.
Top 10. I got him top 10 still.
Okay.
We could disagree.
I got to talk about the Derrick Henry stuff.
He's definitely top 10. Derrick Henry's definitely top 10, don't you think?
Jackson, you're going to hate me.
I'm going to hate you. Why?
Yep, you're going to hate me.
Why?
My recording stopped, so you got to do all the work.
You did that on purpose. Okay.
All right, on to my piece, okay? All right. Derrick Henry did get paid, Jackson, okay? The Titans can complete a deal, all right? The day before time was up, it's rumors coming out. I got people on ESPN reporting that Derrick Henry and the Titans are not going to come to a deal, and he's not going to get an extension, and it's just depression, right?
Right. I saw those reports.
I wake up the next morning, and it's like, Derrick Henry and the Titans have 4 hours to complete a deal, and I'm like, 4-year deal is amazing. I was like, we re-signed him. Okay. All right. So the more I looked at the deal, the more excited I got, because I was kind of like, at first I was like, oh, the Titans crunched under the pressure. Right.
Right.
And we threw him the bag. But then I really got to thinking about it. I heard some people on ESPN talking about it, and they made some valid points. I listened to like 3 or 4 different shows, and they all kind of said it. So I'm just going to credit all of them.
Go for it. No, I mean they're right. I wish we had the front office that the Titans did. I'm actually really jealous.
So Derrick Henry, I think his camp leaked out that stuff the day before to kind of spook us a little bit.
Okay.
Give us a little spook, right? Because that's where information comes from, right? When Ian Rappaport and all these people are hearing these leaks and stuff like that, it's most likely, unless it's like a confirmed deal, when it's stuff like that, when it's like clowny, like, oh, the Browns threw $30 million at me and I turned it down, like that's stuff from his own camp,
Yeah. Stir the pot a little bit.
And I kind of think that's what it was. I think Derrick Henry got to looking at his position and everything, and got to looking at the deal that the Titans were offering him, and it's perfect. I think it's perfect for both parties. I think it's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna get into the deal, and I'm gonna talk about what the deal means for this season for the Titans.
Lay it on me. What's up?
4-year deal, $50 million, $25.5 million guaranteed. Okay,
that's an incredible deal.
It gets better. According to Mike Florio, it is a $12.5 million signing bonus, and then a $3 million fully guaranteed base salary for this year. Then he gets $10.5 million next year that's fully guaranteed. And then the next 2 years he gets $12 and $12.5 million that's not guaranteed. So we basically have 2 years fully guaranteed, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 years where we can basically get out of it. It's not guaranteed. We basically get out from
underneath that. And you have him
money
for 2 years while he's in his prime, fresh off a rushing champion title. That is not only beneficial to him by being fully guaranteed dollar-wise for his livelihood, but is also cap friendly to you to where you can come in, and I know what you're going to say, on the back end and maybe bring in Jadeveon Clowney. To where Derrick Henry is smart enough to understand that if he has Jadeveon Clowney on the defensive side of the ball, that he's going to get more touches and he's going to get more carries and he's going to get more yards and they're going to win more games.
Because if you can rush the passer and run the football, you win
championships.
Games. You win championships. That's how it works. That's the two things you do, Jackson.
Everyone's out here like, oh, there's all these different formulas. It is really simple, Lucas. Especially when you get into playoff football. If you can rush the passer, if you can run the ball, you have a 70% chance to win that game.
Yep.
Everything else just kind of falls into place. Like, that is the formula. And
we get him for 4 years. He's 26. He'll be 30. Okay, so his contract's done when he hits the halfback crest. That's kind of
that 30 years old. That's where it is. We're gonna have Zeke till he's like 32.
And then, if we want to get out of it, we can. You know, if he plays 2 years and he's really good, that third year he's not that great. It's like, we'll get out from under this.
Yeah, trade him to a team that wants a little semblance of Derrick Henry of old and get a 4th round pick out of it.
Right. So let me talk about the cap hit. So he was going to be the franchise tag like 10.5 against the cap. Yeah. He is now $6 million against the cap.
So you saved money.
So we saved money on the cap this year. We don't really know what's going on with COVID, but that opens up more money on cap for the clown, Mr. Jadeveon Clowney. Like you were just saying, that's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
I really think that this opens it up more.
Yeah.
John Robinson has come out and said that he may or may not have been in contact with his people. There's been multiple reports about us being in talks with him. We're waiting on physicals and stuff like that. We want to see him actually play some in practice, but we don't know what's going on with all this stuff right now.
Sure.
No other team has signed him. I think it's obvious we're going to get Clowney on a 1-year deal because this year Henry is a $6 million, but next year he's a $3.5 million. And then the year after that, his 3rd year, he's 15. And his 4th year, he's 15.5.
Yeah.
Now, if he keeps playing good, that's awesome. But we can get a $6 million hit this year and a 13.5 next year. And then if we need to, we can cut him. And we're fine. And I'm so happy.
That is, like, you could not have asked for a better deal.
It's literally like.
It's perfect.
And it's the same thing with Tannehill. When you think about the Tannehill trade, or Tannehill contract, your problem with Tannehill is like, oh, he's a quarterback, we're going to pay him all this money, but he was only here for half a season. Although he did amazing that half season, we don't know if it's going to last. The way the Tannehill contract works is we have him this year, and if he plays good, we pick up his 3rd-year option. If he doesn't play good, we just don't pick up his 3rd year, basically.
Yeah.
And then we'll have him for that 2nd year, and then we're done, and we're out in 2 years. Even though it's like a 4-year contract or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I think the Titans have been really smart in regards to making deals like that. They're more cap-friendly. It opens up what we can do on the back end of the contract way more. And it's just good for both parties. Like, the players get paid, and the Titans get to make the team better. Okay? So this is a quote from Derrick Henry's press conference. He said, really, the deal made sense to me. If it gives us more room to bring someone else in, I'm all for it. Why is he saying that? You know, I'm sure they asked him about it, asked him about the deal and what do you think about bringing Clowney in and stuff like that. But I just think, what a Titan player, man. What a great attitude to have in this. He's not just really wish we could have got paid more because there's some players in the NFL that would talk like that, and he just
for sure.
That's
that's a beautiful deal, man. That is beautiful. I wish we could have got Zeke somewhere like that. By the way, Zeke's been seeing all this talk about Derrick Henry. Zeke's been seeing all this talk about this other running backs and these Madden ratings. And he literally put out yesterday. He said, "I want y'all to put some respect on my name." He's like, I've been dominating.
Go win some football games.
That's what we're saying, dude. We can't. We literally got gifted the division last year. We went 8-8.
Yeah, it's off season right now. Everything right now is what are you going to do for me this next season? And during the football season, it's what are you doing for me right now?
Yeah.
And as soon as your team is out of the playoffs, it's not, hey, look, you ran for 2,000 yards last year, 2,000 yards 2 years ago or whatever. Stuff like that doesn't matter.
What have you done for me lately?
That's all it is.
That's the NFL. That's the nature of the beast, man. What have you done for me lately? Okay. Love that. I'm so jealous of that deal. I wish I could have gotten a similar deal and report for Dak Prescott. But
yeah.
Anyway.
So real quick, Jackson, we're just going to touch on this just a little bit.
Okay.
But Maurice Jones-Drew and Willie McGinnis were talking, and they did their Dark Horse predictions for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. Super excited.
So their first Dark Horse prediction was Colts versus the Falcons.
Okay. This one is out of nowhere, but at the same time, I could see it happening. Like just
the Colts are a sneaky pick for a lot of people.
The Colts are a sneaky pick. They picked up Rivers, who I think is really going to help them. They have a really young defense that is super good. They're in a division. Don't take offense. They're in a division that is very winnable, right? It's between them and the Titans. The Texans pretty much took themselves out of the equation when they traded D-Hop, in my opinion. The Jaguars are absolutely irrelevant. They're going to steal 3 or 4 games this year that they shouldn't have won, and that's going to be it. They're going to sell Mustache Minshew Mania tickets, and that's it. That's all. They're very sneaky. Also, with it being 7 teams in the playoffs, things can get wild and kind of crazy. So I can see them for sure. The Falcons, man, I feel like we're so hit or miss with Matt Ryan. I get Matt Ryan like 2 years ago where he was kind of average, middle of the road, top 10 quarterback still, but 3,000 yards, maybe 25 touchdowns. And I could get Matt Ryan from 2017, who is MVP caliber, literally Matty Ice. He's got Julio Jones. I've been seeing Calvin Ridley, what he's been doing in the offseason, and the routes that he's been running. They got Todd Gurley, who is on a revenge season this year. Their defense for the first time is actually going to be fully healthy for the first time in 2 seasons. They've been plagued by injuries for forever. Now, they're in a very tough division. They're going to have to make a wild card, I think, to make this work. But we've seen crazier things happen. New York Giants, 2007, made the wild card at 9-7 on the year, right? Go on, they end up beating the best team ever in the 2007 New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. Like, stuff just happens. Like, you could be a wild card team and just catch fire at the right moment at the end of the year and hack the formula and go. So I like that. That is a nice dark horse pick. I'm very, very curious by that Super Bowl. That would be entertaining to watch.
Right. So
Rivers versus Ryan, who's actually going to win one in their career. You know what I mean? I know I just took a shot at both of them, but that's pretty funny. Like,
okay. So the reason I brought this up was because of this next part that just jumped out at me.
Yes.
Titans versus the Cowboys
I
was
would
their
love
other
it.
dark horse pick. Is that not crazy?
That's crazy. Lucas, can you tell everybody that's listening, Casey and Aiden will appreciate this because he plays a lot of Madden, and so does Casey. What's been like? Okay, so you and I are like franchise junkies on Madden, right?
Yeah,
we play
franchise.
We play franchise all the time. Can you tell them most of the matchups that you've had in your franchise?
So the team that I've played the most in the Super Bowl, which I've probably made it to the Super Bowl like at least 20 times.
Yeah.
Is the Dallas Cowboys. Currently, right now, in my Tennessee Titan franchise, right? I know the numbers in my head. I've played 7 seasons. I have played the Cowboys 5 times in the Super Bowl.
That is wild. It is
I'm on a
sign,
3
Lucas.
streak. I'm on a 3-year streak right now.
That is wild.
Okay?
Absolutely
and
wild.
then this is coming out, all right? I
It's
don't know
gotta
what the
happen.
people want from it. Titans, Cowboys, it's got to happen.
Zeke.
Nothing else could happen.
Zeke versus Henry, both rushing champions. Dak versus Tannehill, right? Battle of the contracts. Cooper versus
Yeah, and then Dak
Cooper
loses.
versus AJ Brown.
Dak loses the Super Bowl, and then it's like, I still want $50 million a year.
And then Titans win the Super Bowl, and no one's talking about them the next year in the preseason rankings. Like, that's just what's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll go 2-14 after that too. Because
Yeah,
for some reason, that's the Titans thing. Like,
That is-
really good, and then
That would be absolutely wild. Okay, if that actually does happen, Lucas, we're going to have like a crazy bet or situation. The amount of smack talk is going to be absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I was intrigued when you brought that up in the pre-show. What?
message to Casey. I don't
Okay.
know what you're trying to send me, buddy, but it
sent him
sounds
your address.
It sounds shady, Buster.
He didn't say
All
anything.
right.
He's like, hey, all he says, I have a surprise for Lucas. What's his address? I didn't ask questions. I said, here you go. Here's his address, buddy. You could be getting a flaming pile of dog poop or something, man. I don't know.
How much you want to bet this man's about to send me like a Tom Brady bobblehead?
to put on your desk or something.
Yeah.
So while we're doing,
He's gonna be like, I need you to put it on a desk back there behind you when you're recording this stuff so people can see it. Hey, I'm okay with that. Tom Brady bobblehead, I would keep that on my desk all the time.
heck yeah, that would be really cool, actually.
But next up, Jackson, we got the Week 10 matches. Okay, I love this part. This kind of become my favorite part of the pod right now.
Yeah, we're getting in there too. So Week 10, we've had 9 games, right? So teams have played half a season over, and we're getting to that point where it's kind of buckle down time. We're in the race for the playoffs. We know what the divisions are looking like.
Ooh, in real life, we're getting close to football too. Ooh.
We are. What was it? Okay, so we're Week 10 here. So we've lined it up. We're like 7 weeks away.
A
little under 2 months.
We have a week for playoff and then a week for Super Bowl also.
Okay, so we're a little over 2 months from football.
Sure.
I'm so ready, dude.
Okay.
Well, guys, welcome back to the episode of the podcast. I know it's crazy. Literally in the beginning of the video, it's light outside. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. Now my hair's all fuzzy and messed up. Lucas has got he's in the Milky Way galaxy or something, and it's dark outside. What happened? You guys might notice in the video. Over the pod, we were literally in the middle of talking about predictions for Week 10, and Discord, the service that we use to literally talk to each other, literally took a bed. It went off, and so exactly. So we had to wait for it to come back on, and now it's come back on, but we had other stuff going on, and now it's dark outside. It's literally 2 a.m., but we're still here getting this out for you guys. So, Lucas, I guess we'll just go back and do our first little bit of the Week 10 predictions. I can't remember exactly where we finished off of. What's up, baby?
We did one match.
Okay.
We did one game.
I think we talked about the Colts and the Titans for a little bit.
Right. So let's start on that. Colts at Titans. Thursday Night Football, Jackson.
Mm-hmm. I got the Titans at home. I think it's the Colts, the away team on a short week. Titans are very tough to play at home. We saw Kansas City last year. They had a rough time playing there. So, yeah, I think it just makes sense to me. At home on a short week, got to go with them.
So we've been very partial to home teams with Thursday Night Football so far.
Yeah.
And I think you have to keep going with it. Like, the Colts are going to be a good team. They're going to be a tough opponent, obviously. But I got the boys. Also, Jackson, earlier, before it cut out, you did make a prediction for this game. Do you remember your prediction?
It was A.J. Brown, 150 receiving yards.
Yeah.
I just feel like everybody's expecting, Derrick Henry run the ball, short week, Thursday Night Football. Here's Derrick Henry, he's just gonna run. Yes, but I just feel like A.J. Brown's just gonna hit one over the top and get like an 80-yarder or something like that, and then just pick up the rest, dink and diamond.
What you gotta watch on is like a 2nd and 4 where we just throw a slant and AJ just breaks a tackle and takes it all the way.
Yeah. It's happened before. I've seen it multiple times.
Next up, starting on the noon games for Sunday, Bengals at the Steelers.
Bengals at the Steelers. Okay, so this is going to be actually interesting because as of today, or I guess as of yesterday, AJ Green said that he wants to retire as a Bengal, right? And he signed his franchise tag, and he's going to stay as a Bengal. He's healthy. He's ready to go. Big news for Joe Burrow, having a huge weapon. A.J. Green is a Pro Bowl type receiver, so that's going to help out a lot. So I think that's going to
pick the boy up on fantasy.
So I literally said that as it lagged out. You were like, and I remember the point as you lagged out. You're like down and writing stuff down. I was like, now listen, Lucas is going to throw it for a wrench, but pick up A.J. Green in fantasy or something like that. And then you were just sitting there like this. I was like, well, dang, you didn't have to completely just like hate on my idea, bro. And that's how I found out we were gone. But yeah, still, I still got Pittsburgh at home. Still a little bit too much for the Bengals to overcome. Although I am liking them more and more as time goes on.
So this to me is a trap game. I think the Steelers are going to win still, but this is one of those games where Big Ben throws 3 interceptions and like James Conner fumbles. And so Joe Burrow has a chance to win the game at the end, but Micah Fitzpatrick comes over the top and just intercepts him to win the game or something like that. You know what I mean?
You're a prophet. Yeah, I feel you. You've said weird stuff like that before, and it's worked out, so I'll take it.
Eagles at the Giants.
Eagles at the Giants. I'm going to go with the Eagles on the road, man. And I feel like the Giants are kind of one of those weird teams this year, but I don't know. I just feel like the Eagles have a little bit too much. Danny Dimes is still coming into his own, and who knows, man? The Giants could freaking surprise us and go 10-6 or 11-5 this year and win the NFC East, and we're just like, what the heck happened? But I don't know. As of right now, I still feel like the Eagles have a little bit of an edge, especially when it comes to defense.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tyler. I got to go Eagles too. I mean,
Sorry,
it's
Tyler.
just. Although the boys want the Giants to probably win this.
We definitely want the Giants to win because we want the Eagles to lose. We're banking on beating the Giants, which is not going to happen. We're going to lose 0-2 to the Giants. It's going to happen.
I'll be ready for this game. I got Minshew Mania against the Packers.
Packers all the way, my friend. I mean, it ain't even close. Packers. You don't you dare pick Jacksonville. Don't you do it.
Yeah, the Packers are going to win.
Oh my God, give me a little heart attack at 2 a.m, Lucas. Jesus, bro. I thought you were about to pick Jacksonville.
It is 2 a.m. That's actually wild. If I'm not talking that loud, that's why it is, everyone. I hope y'all still hear me and everything.
Cool. My dad's hanging out. He's here with me this weekend. So, Jennifer and Casey, he's in the next room. He's sleeping. I hear him snoring. If y'all can hear that in the background, first of all,
no, you're good.
Capture it and send it to me so I can send it to him. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit more quiet. What's up?
This is not a background, by the way. This is an actual laser that plugs into a USB that's shot on the wall and makes like star things.
That is cool. Right? Yo, I bet we could find one that's like spooky for the Spooktober episode.
Ooh, everything just got bluer.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that.
Packers all the way, 100%.
Yeah. Washington. We don't know what they're going to be. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Yes.
At the Lions.
I got the Lions at home. Here. I really don't have Washington winning, whatever they're going to be, winning many games this year.
Right.
I just don't. Good job you drafted Chase Young. He's going to be a menace against Dak Prescott for the next several years. But they just, dude, their organization is literally imploding. I don't expect them to do anything this year. And if they do, that's going to be insane. You look like an omnipotent being, Lucas.
I am. So, I mean, you kind of have to assume that the Lions are going to win this. Dwayne Haskins, Washington Warriors, Washington Red Wolves, Washington bologna sandwiches. It don't matter. All right? They got a bunch of stuff going on right now. They're not going to be good, which is going to make it even worse. Lions are going to win.
Lions are going to win. Let's do it.
By the way, all that extra stuff that's going on, we're not talking about it because we don't know like exactly 100% what's going on. There's a bunch of rumors and so like just to let y'all know, that's why.
Yeah, we're just gonna let it all play out and then give our thoughts afterwards.
It's a good game. Texans at the Browns.
Yeah, I'm looking here exactly to see who I picked. I'm pretty sure I know who I picked. Okay, I did. I got the Browns at home, dude. I don't know. I feel like they have too much to deal with. Baker Mayfield coming off. I think it's gonna have a better year with a new coach. Houston, I don't know, man. I don't think you got it this year for some reason. I got Browns at home. It's a tough game.
I'm gonna pick the Browns.
Okay.
I don't like picking against the Texans though because they just do stupid stuff and win football games, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But the Browns are going to win. Like, Baker Mayfield's going to have a good day. Nick Chubb's going to run on them.
Nick Chubb's good, man. They got a lot of pieces on that Browns team.
What about the Buccaneers at the Panthers?
One heck of a game. I got the Buccaneers on the road, though. You and me are pretty much in agreement in terms of, like, with our predictions all the way back through several episodes, like, the Panthers, while they're kind of a hype team with, Christian McCaffrey, right, and the 99 Club in Madden, and Bridgewater off his fantastic season with New Orleans. Yeah, that's fantastic and that's great, but what else do you got? Please show me some more. That's it.
New coach
You lost Greg
from
Olsen. They got a
college.
new coach from college. Who knows how good he's going to do? Maybe he's awesome. He's lights out, but you never know.
Bertucci retired.
Yes, man, that's a huge part. So, like, I think they're a little overhyped going into the new year. I like Bridgewater getting a starting job, but other than that, sorry, Carolina.
Yeah, Bucks are gonna win. Jets at the Dolphins, Jack.
I got the Dolphins at home. I do. I know. When's the last time I picked the Dolphins to win a game? Ain't that crazy? But Tua, it's week 10. He's into the system. He knows what's going on. Hopefully he's not, his head hasn't been taken off yet too many times. And the Jets don't really pose that much of a threat. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't. Sam Darnold, okay. But, I mean, they need several more pieces to be contenders. And, yeah. I'm going with the Dolphins. Young team.
Okay, so right here, the Jets have to win some football games, right?
I guess. Yeah, they do.
So for me, they win this game. They win this game because Dolphins kind of think they're good, right?
Yeah.
And the Dolphins come in and they underestimate the Jets at home. They lose. Boom. The home factor doesn't mean that much because we're probably not going to get fans this year. So we got to start thinking about that. I know there's still the travel, but I mean, that travel ain't that bad. Like, you're not changing time zones at least? Or are you? Maybe by an hour. I don't honestly.
No, they're
know
both Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got the Jets winning. Broncos at the Raiders.
Broncos at the Raiders. This is an interesting game for me. Let me check my notes here. It is dark, guys, so stay with me. I'm going to go with the Raiders at home. I feel like we've had this conversation before. I feel like the Raiders got to win some games, and this is one of those division close, hard fought games. I feel like Mariota might be in the lineup by now, at this point, and I like some of the weapons that he has there. Henry Ruggs, I'm going with the Raiders.
Ooh, Henry Ruggs. Yeah, I got the Raiders too. I just don't like the Broncos. I think I like Drew Lock.
Yeah.
I think people overhype him. For example, Colin Cowherd releasing like a top 10 quarterback list for like.
Please tell me he wasn't on that list.
Yeah, he was there. He was there.
Oh my
gosh. It was like his top 10 quarterbacks, and he just likes Drew Lock because he's young and thinks he's really talented and thinks he's going to be amazing, right?
Okay, that's fine and dandy, but he ain't top 10 right now. Sorry, dog.
Bills at the Cardinals.
My gosh, this was a rough game for me. You know how much I like D-Hop and the Cardinals and everything going on, but I'm picking the Bills, my friend. I'm picking the Bills on the road. I feel like I haven't given them enough wins before, so this is kind of compensatory for the rest of the year. But I don't know. This could be one of those weird games. Yeah, I got the Bills. I feel like it's going to be a defensive game, oddly enough.
So I'm going to go with the Bills too. I just think that the Bills are a better team. They've been together longer. They mesh better. They know what they are. I don't think the Cardinals know what they are because they got a college football coach.
Yeah, they're kind of Texas Tech 2.0 right now.
Yeah. 49ers at the Saints.
I got the Saints at home, man. I think both of us, like, we had the 49ers up there. We had them as a playoff team, right? At least we'll see when we get over our records. But I feel like they're taking a little bit of a setback. It's part of that Super Bowl, curse, right? You lose a Super Bowl, the following year you just don't typically do as well. That's just kind of how it goes, how the cookie crumbles a little bit, with exception to the 2017 Patriots, who then went on to win the 2018 Super Bowl, coming back 27-3 against the Atlanta Falcons. Other than that, typically you don't have
Tom
very
Brady
good.
and
Exactly. Submitted GOAT status at the moment. I'm going with the Saints at home, man. I like that.
Yeah, me too. Like pretty much everything you said, I pretty much agree with it all. Seahawks at the Rams. Easy.
Seahawks, 100%. Russell Wilson, top 2 quarterback in the league at the moment, man. Top 3 for sure. Wow. Russell Wilson's just that guy. Better coaching, better everything. Or the Rams too.
The Rams, man, sold out for the Super Bowl. You didn't win. and then it's like, oh, we've made a nuke, and it's
Yeah.
in the middle of our building, and we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to blow up some branches to keep the thing whole.
Yeah.
And that's just what they're going through right now.
Yeah. It's going to be another couple of years before they're back and really relevant again.
Oh, that says Ravens. Is it Ravens Patriots?
It's Ravens Patriots. It's Ravens. I got Ravens on the road.
I think I wrote Rams Patriots, so I was tripping out for a second. Anyways, you got the Ravens?
I got the Ravens on the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be a decent game, though.
The Patriots have a hard schedule this year, like outside their own division because their division's dog meat. Vikings at the Bears.
You're gonna think I'm excuse me. You're gonna think I'm crazy. I'm picking the Bears at home, dude. I'm picking Chicago over the Vikings. And what is crazy to me, Lucas, is I've been picking the Vikings for almost every single game, dude. Like, I feel like they gotta lose eventually, right? And you're going into Chicago, and what is this? November 16th, right before Thanksgiving. It's starting to get a little bit chilly. Okay? Although it is Minnesota. Minnesota's used to playing in the cold. But actually, no, they're playing in a dome. All right? They ain't used to playing in the cold. They're in a dome. Okay? Therefore, Chicago, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Fake Northerners.
It's 2 a.m., bro. I'm just kidding. We're going through it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Chicago at home is kind of a weird. Don't you dare tell me you picked Chicago, did you?
You know what I think, Jackson?
You think I'm crazy.
I think you're a crazy smart man.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, Lucas.
So I went with the Bears also. Here's why I'm going with the Bears.
Did we just...
Kirk Cousins going to feel pressure this game. What happened?
Did we just pick every single game together?
No.
We didn't.
We split on Jets Dolphins.
That's right. Okay, I was going to say that's...
That's the only one. It's never happened.
Yeah. That's wild.
All right, Mr. Jackson. It is 2:25 in the morning, and we have to finish up the pod with Take It or Leave It.
Yes.
All right? For those of you that don't know, Take It or Leave It is a segment we do every single week where I present Jackson with like 5, 10, 12, 14. You know, it's not going to be that high. A low number of things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I just say take it or leave it. He tells me what he thinks. All right? It's a good time.
It's a great time. Let's do it.
All right, number one. I promise that we talk about Washington a little bit. So Washington, take it or leave it.
Okay.
Washington should be the Washington Warriors.
I mean,
I'll just let you know. Another option is the Washington Red Wolves.
I saw that.
Those seem to be the popular too.
Yeah. I kind of like the Washington Warriors. It kind of fits in with that, Washington Wizards kind of, symmetry, I guess you could say. Warriors sound really cool. I think that they have a really. I'm anxious to see what their branding and like their new uniforms and stuff looks like with the new logo. Yeah, I like the Warriors. It sounds good to me.
Okay. So here's my problem with the Red Wolves part.
Okay.
So the Red Wolves part is it's like a team that you create in Madden franchise.
Yeah, right.
Like
create a team.
Yeah. It just doesn't look
It seems weird.
like reality.
Yeah.
And so like the Warriors fits it way better. And you're not really changing the concept of the whole team. So pretty good trade-off.
Yeah, I think so too. And like Lucas said, we'll comment on this a lot more whenever we have the full details with everything going on. There's just so many rumors and everything kind of flying about right now.
And there's a lot going on in Washington right now. There is whole lot.
It might need its own episode, to be honest with you. So we'll
Trent Williams.
Yeah, like Trent Williams. So we'll dive deep into it once the facts are all out there. So
okay, so Madden 21 is coming out in August.
Yes,
all right.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Just to let everyone know, they're starting to drop some ratings right now, and we're going to talk about some of them.
Some of them are blasphemous.
Take it or leave it. Michael Thomas is the number one wide receiver in the NFL. Because in Madden, he's number one with a 99 overall.
Leave it. I still think D-Hop's better. I think D-Hop has better hands. I think D-Hop has more verticality. Michael Thomas is an incredible receiver, and he has an incredible quarterback. And I'm not gonna say like he's just like gifted from the system, but because he obviously deserves to be in that conversation. But I just think D Hop has a little bit more. He has a little bit more range. He's a better route runner. Michael Thomas is more possession. He's not really deep
He's
flair.
not going to do anything.
He's not deep flair. He's consistent. His curls, his outs, his cuts are perfect. He's one of the best route runners in the league.
He'll catch 20 balls a game, but he'll have 130 yards.
D Hop can catch an 85-yard ball backwards, sideways, jumping up in the air while getting a helicopter hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just has a little bit more kind of like natural, I guess, talent, I guess you could say. So D Hop is still number one in the league for me.
Yeah, 100%. Me too. I also would put Julio over Michael Thomas.
Julio's different. By the way,
different.
When in that it's wild, Lucas. I like to think about this sometimes. I was talking about this earlier. 2018 Super Bowl, Falcons Patriots. In the fourth quarter, Falcons are making a drive. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 12. Matt Ryan makes a crazy pass to Julio, who gets a beautiful 2-tap catch. Right?
Stupid crazy catch.
Had the Falcons gone on to win that would have been considered the play of the game. But now it is forgotten about because of the comeback from the Patriots. Isn't that just crazy how like those different plays and like how history can be told?
Like the helmet catch.
The helmet catch, David Tyree. Or are you talking about something different?
No. I'm talking about helmet catch, Giants, Patriots Super Bowl.
If that helmet catch doesn't happen, Brady's got 7 rings?
I thought he's at 7 now.
Is he at 7 now?
He's got too many to count. All right, Casey, let us know in the comments. How many rings does Tom Brady have?
He might have 7. I think you're right. He might have 7. Yeah.
Speaking of rings, I got to talk about Gronk.
Okay.
All right, we're going to stick on the Madden ratings right now because that's what everyone's talking about right now. So, Madden rating came out. Gronk is the 3rd best tight end. Okay?
Really? Okay.
With a 95 overall. George Kittle is number 1 with like a 99. And then it's Travis Kelce with like a 97. And then it's Gronk with a 95. And then Zach Ertz with like a 90.
Zach Ertz. Okay. Yeah, because Greg Olson's gone. He's old. I'm trying to think of other like maybe Devin Njoku. He's a good one.
Here, I have all of them right here.
Good. But okay, so what's the take it or leave it?
Oh, I don't have it. Okay, so take it or leave it. Gronk is actually the 3rd best tight end in the league.
Yeah, I take it. I don't know if he's 95.
Over
maybe
Zach
90.
Ertz?
Yeah, I think so. I think his first like 8 games, no. But I think once he gets back into the groove and the rhythm, dude, whenever he was like, especially in his prime in the league, or even his last year in the league when he was playing, dude was a security blanket, and like he was the big play in the Super Bowl when the Patriots won over the Rams. That game, there was no big plays. It was dinking dipe runs and short little throws. And who made the big play when it counted in the fourth quarter? 30-yard gain. It was Gronk. 1-on-1 over the middle. Just dove over some linebacker. Like, what he provides is so much versatility that somebody like Devin Njoku, Zach Ertz, don't necessarily. They're more kind of receiving tight ends, but Gronk can block. Gronk can get to the second level. He can do it all, man. He provides a mismatch for anybody. Dude's a giant. I don't have him at 95, maybe 90, maybe 91, but
I really think Gronk's got to be 4th.
4th. Who's 3rd? Zach Ertz?
Zach Ertz.
Okay. I mean, it's not a bad answer. Zach Ertz is good.
It's only because, Gronk's been away.
I feel you. He's been gone.
And I get your argument. Next up, Jackson. Sticking on the Madden ratings.
Okay.
So Odell Beckham Jr. is the 9th best, but he belongs higher. Take it or leave it.
Ooh. 9th best, but belongs higher. I'm
thinking
about the wide receivers. Okay, so let me see if I can guess. D Hop, Michael Thomas, Julio, definitely above him.
Yeah.
Who else do they list above him? This is interesting because we start getting past that.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper.
Yep.
Okay.
Devontae Adams.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Are you ready for this one? Stephon Diggs.
Really? They have. I was about to say Diggs, but I was like, really?
And then Mike Evans.
And Mike Evans. Okay, I can get the Mike Evans argument. I guess maybe. No. Okay. Yeah. All right. He belongs higher. He definitely belongs higher. Just because of his capability. I think I put him at 6.
So Cooper's at 6 right now.
Okay. So yeah, he's.
Here's the order. Okay, it's Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones. That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. 100%.
Other than
no argument.
Michael Thomas needs to drop down. Tyreek Hill number 4.
Okay.
Devontae Adams number 5. It's a bit much.
No, that's a bit much. I feel like I would put
Coop 5.
Coop at 5, OBJ at 6, and Devontae at 7. And then
it's
Mike.
Stephon Diggs and Mike Evans.
I would have Mike Evans flicked with Stephon Diggs.
And then Keenan Allen is 10th.
Okay. He's underrated. Keenan Allen's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's higher. He belongs higher. And Coop should be 5.
I think he probably does too. This one's wild. Okay? This is the craziest Madden thing I've ever seen in my life. J.J. Watt has a 98 overall and is the second best pass rusher in the game.
Wait, I saw something about this. I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
So take it or leave it. J.J. Watt is the number 2 pass rusher in the league.
Leave it. Because I know who the top 2 are. Nick and Joey Bosa.
What?
Those are my top 2, 100%.
Who's Aaron Donald?
Okay, I guess. He's more of like I think more of like a D tackle. I don't think of him as a pass rusher.
He's a right end.
Is he? I just think of him as like a run stopper. Like, I mean, he can get to this. He can get back in the backfield and he can do it. But I think of pure pass rushing. I feel like the Bosa brothers, man. Those guys just pin their ears back and go. I know, and the Bosa brothers aren't on it, aren't they? It's wild.
It is wild. Number 2 is J.J. Watt. I cannot believe J.J. Watt, who has not been healthy since I was in the womb, okay?
Yeah.
Has a 98 overall. He did not do a lot last year.
No, he didn't.
I don't need to pull up his stats to know that
maybe a 94.
He's a 98.
He should maybe a 94 is what he should be. 7th best pass rusher.
88.
Something like that.
Look, okay. So number 3 is Khalil Mack.
Okay.
Okay. Number 4 is Von Miller.
High for him for now. 2015, he's number 1. But
number 5 is Fletcher Cox.
Over the Bosa twins?
Number 6, Cameron Jordan. He had a good year.
He's good. Yeah.
Number 7, I think this guy should have been a little higher. Chandler Jones.
He's good.
Had like 19 sacks. I think is what I read on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, he had like a quiet, really, really good year. Like no one was talking about him. Oh yeah, it's stupid. Oh yeah, it's beyond insane.
Number 8, Calais Campbell.
Okay, yeah. Dude's nasty.
Number 9, Myles Garrett, who just got a bag.
He did. He secured the bag. That one was a real that was a real impact.
And last one is Chris Jones. I like your reference, Jackson.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the Bosa twins.
JJ Watt's just
I'll take both Bosas over JJ Watt right now. Either Bosa. I'd take either one.
Hey, I bet Myles Garrett got a high throw power though.
Oh, I bet he does. He got a cannon, bro. he could throw it over the top. You know what I'm saying?
So that's 5, Jackson. But I added one more to finish it off.
Okay.
I feel like we don't talk enough college football.
Fair.
So take it or leave it. College football will be canceled this year.
Oh man, that is rough. You want to talk about money?
It's different.
You want to talk about money? Like, and here's the big reason the NFL is still going, right? Because there's just too much money with TV deals and everything. Same thing, kind of thing with college football. Like college football is it's so huge that it literally funds other programs within college sports, NCAA in total. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because of everything going on and potential classes at home or online, especially since you have that kind of that distance learning already available with colleges. but it seems like all colleges are going back to school anyway. I think it's going to be played. I think it's going to be a shortened season. Maybe limited to some, I've heard some conferences saying that they're going to limit games to just interconference.
All of them are doing it now, track.
They're all doing interconference?
SEC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12.
Okay, so Big 12's playing the Big 12 and the SEC's playing the SEC. Interesting. Okay. Seems, yeah. Okay. It's going to be an interesting year. It's definitely going to have an asterisk next to it.
It's getting scary. It's really, really, really getting scary. So the SEC apparently was trying to wait it out. They wanted to wait it out. What happened, though, is the Harvards, the Stanfords, the Yales,
Yeah, the Ivy League.
So the Ivy League, Stanford's in Pac-12. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
The Ivy League did it first. And they were like, we're only playing people in our conference. And they were like, we're not going to play anyone else. That's how it's going to be. And then by the end of the week, Jackson, Big 10, boom, conference only. And all the other conferences are doing it, and SEC's been trying to wait, and now it's just like SEC's just like they have to.
They have to.
Because no one's going to play them. I think it was Harvard. Jackson had like 52 or 56 or 80 something. I'm gonna say 56. Just put this in perspective. There's like 56 school activities or whatever that are getting closed.
Yeah.
Because they aren't going to make money from football. They're literally removing them.
Wow. That is insane.
And so, yeah. And it's crazy to think that they're doing that so soon. Because although I understand it's not exactly that soon, because college football starts in August,
It does. Literally next month it's scheduled to start, yeah.
Ugh.
It's wild, dude.
I just feel like you gotta make all the money. You gotta find a way to make it happen.
There's too much money in it. Even if you limit the amount of people in stands. Even if I saw who was it? Was it Joel Klatt? Maybe that's his name. He came up with a plan. I think he's a pretty renowned college football analyst. Came up with a plan. He was like 10 games, shorter season. So you play your first 2 games straight away, and then after that you have a week in between each game. So that way you basically have 2 weeks, a period to where if somebody is sick or somebody could potentially get sick, that they could be isolated. And you kind of allow that buffer period in between games, and you test immediately right after games. And so you'll know a week ahead of time if you're going to have that player or not. And you just kind of do something like that. You play your interconference, only your interconference people, and then at the very end, you kind of either expand the playoffs or just, whoever. You take the top 4 power conferences, who finished at the top of their conference. You take one from the SEC, one from the Big 12, one from the Big 10, and then you just put them in the playoff, and you just let them go. So that could definitely be something that could happen. I think they're going to have a season because I think there's just too much money involved. I don't know.
It's just I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Because with the way colleges are, when one starts doing something, others start to follow suit.
That's a good point.
And my classes have all been put online. It's virtual classroom.
Yeah.
We still have to meet sometimes, like every once in a while.
Yeah.
But for the major majority, it seems like everything's going online, which I think makes it easier for college athletes to still play.
Yeah.
But there's the argument of we can't force football players to practice if we aren't making students come to campus.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no way around it. There's no way around the political aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to cancel it. And I hate it. It's really, really scary. It's really, 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 really scary because that's so much money, Jackson. I don't think people understand how much money actually, the TV deals and everything.
Do they get a bunch? It's insane. You're right. I mean, they very well could cancel the college football season. I mean, obviously for selfish reasons, we hope not. But, and even for reasons beyond that, right? There's a lot of money involved and a lot of other things that go into these things that fund a bunch of other programs. So we hope not,
Right.
but it's a scary time out there, man. It's a scary time. So
Well, it's a big deal for seniors and stuff too. Like
For
there are
sure.
people and like people that would be juniors that would normally go pro after their junior year are going to have to stay an extra year in college, and it puts them behind a whole year in their life. And if you
and players that foregoed the draft in their junior year to come back for their senior year and now can't play, and so where's their draft stock now? Yeah.
and what about players that don't get to play their senior year so they graduate? Like, do they go to the draft based off their junior year stuff, or do you give them a waiver and you say, "Hey, the seniors can play"? But what does that do for the juniors that just became seniors? So then you got two classes.
You'd
of seniors.
you'd have to give everybody a one red shirt year. You'd have to say, because I think that's thinking in college. Like you could red shirt for like up to 2 seasons, and after that, like you got to play, but you have 4 seasons of eligibility. I think that's how it works.
But
Anyway.
like the problem is, if you do that, you're setting back everyone a year,
Oh, for sure.
and so then you're setting a precedent of you're playing football for 5 years at a school instead of 4.
Yeah, so you'd have to cut it off you'd have to have a cutoff date for like, and it would be terrible. But like, so
Like,
the
it
people that
wouldn't
are in
count
school
for
right
the-
now, only for the people that are in school right now, freshman through senior, this class. You get
So
an
then
extra year
that
of
next
eligibility.
class gets screwed.
Yeah.
That class that comes in right after that gets screwed. Okay.
I don't know. Again, there's a lot of questions and a lot of different things that come into it, and none of this is fair and none of it's right. It's just, it is what it is, right? So, take it with a grain and take it with it and just roll. You know, it sucks.
That's actually all I got, buddy. That's it.
Hey, that's all I got too. We're getting to the deep dive talks here. Okay, but guys, thank you guys so much for this kind of 2-parter episode of the Go for 2 podcast. I know we had some daytime and we had some nighttime. We gave you a little bit of variation, a mixed up, if you will. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Wherever you can find us, where all podcasts can be heard. Anchor, Google, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. Spotify, all of it. Leave some likes, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and leave a comment down in the section below. We will read your comment out in the very beginning of the show. We love the comment interaction we've been getting so far. Shout out to Aiden and shout out to Casey for comments that you guys left. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys later. Love you. Bye.
This is